So this one's a little bit different because we're now taking that email stage and we're going to ask for email as well as continue to ask for SMS. So we're giving both approaches that we can do there. So I'm going to start off again, same thing. You guys are figuring me out by now. Give myself some space to work if I want to get a little more creative, 600 pixels wide, and keep that nice and centered that we have there. Now for my background image, you'll notice that we changed a little bit. So it's still a branded image, but it's not with all the product details that we have there. So we're not worried about competing or overlapping or anything like that. We're going to move from left to right, from background to left space. And then we're going to, again, give ourselves a little bit more space, especially when you start bringing in the terms and conditions. When you talk about SMS, you need a little bit more width there. We're going to hide that image on mobile like we're used to. And then I'm actually going to bring in a background image or a background color, excuse me, because I think it's a little bit more fun, kind of keeps everything branded here. So let me check my notes. It looks like we're using this one for this pop-up, just a nice kind of light pink that we have there. So we've got that set, and then that's just going to give it a little bit more color blending into the site, keeping it a little bit lighter, again, drawing your attention directly within there. Style, we're going to go back with that square that we have here, and everything else is looking pretty good. All right, so let's start off. Step one, what we wanted to do with this one was going to be a little bit more of, again, asking for email up front. So we're going to try some different styles that we can use. Again, we're bringing in the logo, so we want to keep that nice and consistent. So we've got crown dolls, and this is a really fun logo. A lot of detail up top. So I don't want to get too small with this one. Maybe I'm going to go about 50, maybe a little bit smaller, 45, and then I'm going to bring that, again, right on up top and give myself a little bit of padding so I'm not running over the edge. So let's come back to the individual padding. Top padding that we have there, 20. I think that'll get us started. All right, that looks better. 30 is a little bit better. I like 30. And then let's get into the rich text section. So instead of just using the big bold text, I'm going to play with it a little bit more. A little bit more of that playful approach is just going to come in through here, say, hey, good look. And then instead of the join the club, I'm going to more of kind of lean them or bring them into the different reasons why they would want to subscribe. So we're going to say want 10% off. And then we're going to separate that from the text that we have below. Again, just leaning into some different fonts that we have. So going back to that Open Sans design, bringing that bold out to keep it a little bit more modern. And then I can play around with some different spacings to give myself a little bit more of kind of a wider feel to it. Maybe even increase this font size a little bit more. So I really drive home that value of why would they subscribe. Down below, personalizing it for the brand here. So subscribe to our newsletter and grab 10% off your next order. Plus, get all the latest promotions and style tips. Shorten things up a little bit more here. Give it a little more letter spacing just to kind of brand it. And I can even reduce this so I'm really pushing the overall want 10% off size. So let's go ahead and drop that down to 14.5. I like what I did last time to draw the attention where I'm just kind of bolding it and again, bringing that back in. So 10% off, really they know what they're looking for here. And now let's keep branding this a little bit more. So again, I really want it to blend in and enhance my site, not kind of detract or look like just kind of a generic pop-up. I want to make these quick changes. So what I'm going to do is go back to my email or my form. We're going to shorten this form up. Just go to email address. And I'm actually going to even remove the field border completely. So what I can do with this one, just move that to white. There we go. And then the button background color, I'm going to use another great color that we have here. I'll check my notes again for this one. And I'm checking my notes, but you all should know what your color codes are. So you've got your colors, use your colors to match your site, not just the generic colors that we have there. Now, because this is a multi-stage pop-up, I'm going to change that button, that submit action, to instead of just start shopping or submit, I'm going to say continue. Because we're going from the email to the next one up, which is going to be SMS. You know what? I decided I don't love that dark cover color, so let's just make that nice and clear there. Now I've got that one set. Same strategy that we used earlier, where I'm going to duplicate that, bring it over. And now what you'll notice is when I go into the form settings, the content is going to get a lot longer. So I'm actually going to remove the email content, and I'm going to bring in that mobile number and put those permissions with all the permission checkbox. So this looks like a really long pop-up, and it's a little kind of obtrusive. It's kind of blocking a lot of things. So I'm going to start to reduce the content that we have within that. So let's go ahead and hide that logo. We already got that in there on the first one. And let's shorten up that rich text. So we're going to say, you know what, instead, nice going, encouraging them to continue along the way. And then we'll let them know about the SMS. Let's try to keep that nice and short. So I'm actually going to just reduce the font size to get it all in one line there. And then let's tell them what's the one more thing, but not yell at them in all caps. So I'm making them feel really special about giving them my phone number, or their phone number, excuse me. And it's all nice, consistent 1-9. Got that one set. We'll go ahead and again, continue to reduce it. I need to give myself a little bit more spacing on this one, just because I lost that padding tied to the image. I'm gonna give myself a little bit more padding up top, and also a little bit more padding down on the bottom. So coming back to that one and working on the bottom padding. There we go. A little bit taller image that we have there. So just like that, we've got a lot going on. I got to move my phone number. So nice, easy, kind of trying to keep it streamlined, not getting too tall or too obstructive with the pop-up. And now let's take a look at that step 3. So follow that same trick that I had earlier, where I'm just duplicating the previous one to bring all my colors and everything over. And then I just want to let them know, hey, you made it, you're in. So that's it. Let's just go exactly with that language. A little celebration there. If you wanted to throw an emoji in, I'd say you could probably do it on this one. But let's bring that up. We're going to hide the form and rich text. What should they expect here? Draw that attention. Now, another fun thing that we're going to do, again, we're bringing in that button. So right now, the button is just going to be the call to action to start shopping. But if I wanted to apply the discount directly in there, I'm going to show you how we can do that here in a little bit. And we do have that help article that can kind of guide you through that. Let's go ahead and get our colors updated for that. And then that last little bit. Now, taking a look at the experience from the 3 different pop-ups, we've got 3 different heights. So I want to get that set just so it's nice and consistent. Looks great on mobile right now, but I want to get those heights set. So let's go back to the desktop, and we're going to go to our tallest of the settings, and we'll come back into it. Instead of auto, we'll go to a custom height, and then we're just going to fill in those tiny little gaps that we see here just to make it nice and very clean design. So I'm just going to add a little bit more padding below the close action on this one. Get a little underline here. Let's move up to, oh, looks like I guessed right the first time, 40. There we go. Awesome. And then the third one is the last stage. I need to put a little bit of spacing above and between. So these are small tweaks, but they do add up. They do make a difference in terms of giving a really nice, clean design to people all the way across. So let's say So all right, get that set. And then the last one down at the bottom, a little bit more padding here. All right, and there we go. We've got a really awesome pop-up. Looks great on desktop and mobile. We're getting an email address and SMS, and we're giving them that really clear call to action to start shopping when they submit. So a lot of fun things that we're doing with this one. You can do all sorts of different strategies if you wanted to. I personally, I do like what Kestrel talked about with the approach of being able to, keep the email address first so that it's kind of a lower barrier to sign up, and then putting more SMS or additional questions later on. Because at the very least, you just want to keep in touch with them. So call out that value prop, that 10% off, and then kind of keep them going through the experiences they do.